What's up, everyone? So, today I'm going to be talking about how exactly I got into the University of Chicago and how I got a full ride as well. So, basically, let's dive in. So, as you guys can see over here, first of all, I accepted my offer a couple of days ago for the University of Chicago class of 2029. And yeah, let's get right into the video. So it's going to be a little bit of a long video, but I do have a bonus for you guys, so make sure to stay tuned for that. So number one, we're going to be talking about the stats. We're going to be then talking about writing your essays, and then the letter of recommendations, tips and resources, and also drafting, and then the bonus. So let's get started with the stats. So number one, the advice that I have for you for your stats is that you always want to check the common data set for every single school. If you just type in, for example, Yale common data set, press search, you're gonna find this PDF, like literally with like 90 pages of full of just information about basically the application process for this specific school. As you can see over here, I have an example of a college. You can see that very important, important, considered, not considered. So what they actually do is that every single college literally have a common data set. You can literally Google all of them for every single college that you have, and you can look at the very important stuff. For example, class rank is very important for this college. GPA is important. SAT, ACT is very important. That means that it's probably test required. But then the application essay is important, but it's not very, very important, if you guys know what I mean. The recommendations is important, but it's not super important. And you can see like an interview is considered. That means like it's not like something that will really determine if you're in or you're out. And then the tip number two that I have for you guys on the stats, so you guys know, comparison is the thief of joy. That's one of Theodore Roosevelt's code. And then you basically need to make sure that you are not comparing yourself to others, because for the longest time I have been doing this. I've been comparing to my friends. Oh no, I got lower than him in the test. No, I'm gonna be falling behind. But at the end of the day, you just want to focus on yourself. You want to make sure that you're improving every single day, and you want to focus on the inputs, the work that's necessary for you to reach that goal of whatever score you want. So, for example, like let's say you're studying for the SAT, instead of thinking about like your friend who got like a 1580, and you'll be like, oh, I have to get a 1580 or like at least a 1590 to just like get higher than him. You're thinking about it the wrong way. You need to make sure that you focus on yourself. You need to do a practice test, figure out what are the different topics that you're really weak at, and how you can improve on them. Because at the end of the day, that's what really gonna help you. And that's not just in the college application process, but in life in general. It's just gonna help you become a better version of yourself, and also it's just going to help you get there. And then number three, you need to focus on shaping your application with themes and how you truly are. So for me, what I basically shaped my application is by saying in Sudan, because I grew up in Sudan. So I was born here and then I grew up in Sudan. And then basically I just talked about me living there, the culture, the change of shift that I came here, and then the war that's happening right now. I also had some ECs about basically how I helped in the work, because we have a local organization here and I'm the treasurer for it. And basically we just I talked about how my goal is, once the war is over, that's kind of actually one of my missions, is to build a lot of technology and kind of a lot of improvements to go and push out there, for then the country will be able to just get back, rebuild itself. And yeah, you just need to make sure you figure out your theme. And then I also had some tennis in there, and I also had some computer science, because that's what I'm majoring in, and a little bit more of business, because I'm double majoring in computer science and business economics, because that's kind of my passion, kind of tech, software, businesses, apps, AI, and all of that jazz. So you want to ask yourself what you really want, what are you professional at, and not even just professional, but like what have you been doing in the past, what you want to do in the future, and how you can make sure that everything's related. So like your ECs are related to your essays, and then the letter of recommendations. For example, one of my letter of recs was from my tennis coach. that I knew him for a while, and he was also my pre-calc teacher. So that was a really good connection because he literally just saw me like in the classroom and outside of classroom, and basically just had a really good perspective, and it also ties with my theme. So most important, like a really important thing is that you want to have a theme. You don't want to be majoring in biology and then writing your essays in computer science, because that just doesn't really kind of show the link. But if you're undecided yet, you could do that. But I'm just saying that you can't really just have something like, let's say you're majoring in biology, but then your extracurriculars are all computer science. You're writing about computer science, and it's just like make sure that you have a theme and make sure that everything is kind of all in one, just so they can get the full concept of more about you. Because at the end of the day, they're trying to learn more about you. So, and then number four, challenge yourself as much as possible. I know this college application season process is just kind of like super hard. You have all of these essays. You have school that you gotta make sure you have classes that you gotta make sure you gotta lock in for. So it is physics, mechanics, calculus, computer science, whatever it is, AB Bio. You just need to make sure that you challenge yourself every single day, and yeah, just turn off the phone and lock in. So now what is the most important thing that I want to tell you guys in this whole video is that the admission officer just wants to know more about who, more about you. So whenever you're writing your essays, always remember that always talk about you. Whether even if you talk about like a significant other, whether it's your grandmother, your grandfather, someone who's related to you, always show how that growth came back to you and how you developed from that process, because they're not trying to admit your father, your grandmother, or your grandfather, or your best friend. They're trying to admit you, so you need to make sure that you talk mostly about you and show your growth. But definitely add a lot of, if you have like a really good story, definitely do that, write that, but most importantly, just focus on you. So number two, now we're getting into the writing your essays. So when writing your essays, I'm going to talk a little bit more about my story. So, because I applied through QuestBridge, the QuestBridge scholarship program, and I became a finalist, in which that's how I got basically my full ride to UChicago. I had to write 47 high quality essays to all of those top schools in only 16 days. You might say I'm insane for that, but let me just explain to you guys. Because I had, so basically how QuestBridge works is that you rank the colleges from the one that you want to go to the most to basically the least. You have up to 15. I'm pretty sure I ranked 10 only, because these are the ones that I really wanted to go to. So I'm pretty sure I had University of Pennsylvania, and then I had Yale in there, I had Stanford, I had Columbia, Princeton, UChicago, in which I got matched to. I had Boston University, USC, Duke, and I think a couple more. And then basically, I had to write all of those 47 essays. And if you guys go scroll on my channel, you guys can see all of these videos. Like on this day, I wrote like 10 college essays and just drafts in one day, sitting in a coffee shop for 8 hours. And it was actually not even that bad. Like once you get the groove, you get started, you get moving, you actually get a hang of it, and you're like you literally enjoy writing it, because it's not like a like an English class essay. It's more about you. You learn more about yourself. It's just really fun. So the method I use to lock in and writing the perfect essays. Boom, let's go. So number one, you need to make sure that you group your essays. Now for the 47 essays, out of them I probably only wrote like around like I would say like 20, like wrote about them like in the idea sense, because you have to keep in mind that most of the colleges have, let's say, the community essay, right? Community essay, you gotta make sure you have the main essay, and then you gotta tailor it to that specific college. And I'm gonna get more into that later by doing the research and show you guys how to do the research. But basically, what you need to make sure that you just track all of your essays, get them all in a spreadsheet, group them together. So if you're like community essay, boom, 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 and then like the widest college essay, you gotta make sure to do boom, 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 and then also like all of the different, let's say they have a little bit of different prompt essays or short answers, you gotta boom, try and group them together to basically get the ideas down. Because at the end of the day, an essay, like a college essay, is all about the idea. So if you get the idea, the writing is the easiest part, in my opinion. So I would, every day after coming back from school, I'll do a little bit of homework. I'll go outside and I'll just walk around, keep just thinking, even do a little bit of juggling with some tennis balls because I learned that from tennis. Amazing coach. But at the end of the day, you just gotta make sure you get the ideas. I know we're kind of running out of time, but that's the most important thing, the idea. So now, the method I use to lock in and writing the perfect essays. So, number one, you gotta make sure that you're grouping your essays together. So, as I just mentioned, and you need to make sure you're just getting something written down. So, a lot of time that I spend was just like thinking, I'm like, oh, it's not gonna be good, it's not gonna be good. But the most important thing that I did and that pushed me closer to finishing all of those essays was just getting something done. Remember, I'd wake up at 4 a.m., just blank document, just start writing. If it didn't make sense, just keep writing. Come back after school, write it, make sure you edit. You're just gonna be refining until you're satisfied with the outcome. And then the college essay Kai have helped me a ton. Like, if you guys can see, I'm not sponsored or anything by him, but I just really loved all of the resources that he had, like how to develop a great college list, college application, boom, brainstorming. And I basically went all through all of that. And also for almost every single college, he has like a guide on how to write your supplements, and that basically kind of guided me a little bit, gave me some ideas how to like think about the prompt, and it basically just helped me brainstorm better. So I would definitely recommend doing that. And then write down. And then the one of the most important things that you want to write with your voice to show your personality, values, tonality to the officers. So you gotta make sure that you must write with your voice. So for example, if you read like a really good essay online, like a perfect essay, and it's like really really good, don't be shocked. Don't be nervous. Don't be kind of like, what is the okay, don't be like, and kind of like envious about, be like, don't talk yourself down, because whenever I read them I was like, oh, these are so good, like I don't know, I can never write a really good essay like that. But at the end of the day, you gotta keep in mind that the officers want to know more about you, and just literally your writing, your style, your tonality, your values, and basically your personality and everything. So you gotta make sure that you just go for it. You gotta trust the process. You gotta trust yourself. And I know that you can write a really, really good essay. So, number three, we're going to be moving on to the letters of recommendations. So, the tips that I have for the letter of recs is that you got to always remember to ask politely. And basically just be polite, because they're teachers. They're taking some of their time to write you a letter of recommendation, in which will be like really, really good for your future, because it will get you into college. But yeah, so tip number one is that you need to ask yourself, who are 2 to 3 teachers that I've formed like the most connection with. And what I mean by that is basically like a teacher that she knows you, she or like he, just like they know you so much that they can write a letter of rec for you that would just like would be nice, basically. So you gotta ask yourself, okay, so for example, I had my coach, so like he was my coach, my one of my letter recs. I had him. He was my coach, and at the same time, he had me during class. He was my tennis coach for freshman, sophomore, and junior year, and also I had him in a class for AP Pre-Calc, which was kind of like a new class. And basically, yeah, he knows me for a lot. And also, like during the summer, we would train. He would give me lessons and all of that. So I formed a really good connection with him. And then a lot of colleges say that you would, and even require like, so a letter of recommendations to be from a math or a history or English or like a language teacher. And then you gotta make sure that to give them a copy of her transcript, your resume, and also remember things you remember that you want to remind your teachers about to include in the letter. So for example, I remember one thing was the unit circle challenge. And during class in my APP calculus, we had to, if you write the unit circle in less than 2 minutes, you get 3 extra credit points, right? So I just kept practicing that I even didn't even think about it. I was just like boom, 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 finish it, right? And then the school record for that unit circle challenge was 1 minute and 20. No, it was 1 minute and 20 seconds. And guess what? I beat it. It was 1 minute and 16 seconds, and everything was right. And then you gotta make sure you read the radians, the degrees, the radians, the degrees, and also you gotta make sure you write the what was it? The radians, the degrees, and also the angles. Yeah. So everything, all the three stuff, boom, 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 and it was kind of like a really nice memory that I just boom wrote down on the letter, and gave it to my teacher, and pretty sure he probably wrote me a really good letter. And yeah, so moving on, we're gonna be going into the tips and the resources. So you gotta make sure you do your research. And what I mean by that, I did research on a different level. I researched about the college application process. I remember I had these books, and I'm pretty sure I read a couple more, but I read like 50 Successful Stanford Application Essays, Valedictorian at the Gate, on writing the college application essay, college essay essentials, and basically I just kept researching, figuring out like more about the application process, in which most of the all of the key valuable things I have broke it all down for you guys in this one video. And basically, yeah, so read a lot of books. I even listened to 20 plus podcasts done by admissions. For example, inside the Yale admission office, this was a really nice podcast. I talked about the SAT, ACT. Like, let's say the colleges say it's test optional. Is it really test optional? Is it not test optional? And basically that kind of stuff. And one thing that I forgot during the stats, like, let's say your stats are on average, you gotta keep in mind that I feel like the most important thing that differentiates applicants from one another is their essays, ECs, and letter of recs. Because at the end of the day, if I have a 4.5 and then another student have a 4.5, and we took like almost similar AP classes, and we're on the same level of kind of like educational level, how can a college admission officer differentiate in which whom to pick for the college? That's why you gotta make sure you lock in on those essays, you lock in on those ECs, and also you basically just hopefully form a good relationship with your teachers for that letter rec. So moving on, what you should do, you gotta make sure you do your research. And I'm talking about more on the college research, because right now I just gave you guys the full guide on how to write those amazing essays, because you guys only got a couple of days left. But do your research. And for example, what I did here was like University of Pennsylvania. I researched their M&T program, computer science. I had all of this, boom, which the what does this college offer, all the different things that I kind of want to continue and want to do. And I'm pretty sure I got distracted from the college essay guy, so feel free to check him out. I'll actually put a link on the description down below, so feel free to click that and go to his website and basically just get all of this free value. And then also learn more about the college you're writing the supplement for. Really important. What is their mission statement? What do they want? Whom are they looking for? And all of that type of really good stuff. Like, for example, I told you guys go to the common data set, but that's more of like the college application side. But you want to also like research on the actual website, like what is Yale mission, what is Harvard's mission, and all of that really good stuff. And then also remember that at the end of the day, it will be okay. Don't really be stressed. Don't stress out way too much. Just, you got this. Stay strong. Get on the computer. Start typing those essays. And I know you're going to crush it. So, number 5. When drafting the essays. So, I kind of talked a little bit about that. But tip number 1 is that you just need to shut off the phone. Put it on the side. Another tip. Put your phone, the color scale, make it in grayscale. And basically that just helps, like study shows that it helps you stay away from your phone by 30%. Or what you can also do is just put it in somewhere in another room, put it in the basement, put it somewhere far, far away from you, and just start writing without thinking too much. You're just gonna make sure you start drafting, boom, 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 and getting just like SpongeBob. Just start drafting, drafting, and get those words on the paper. So you want to tip number 2 is that you want to do writing sessions of 25 minutes. I found this really helpful. Do a 25-minute writing session. Go outside, go for a 5-minute walk, try and get some more ideas. Okay, I'm gonna write about this, and make sure you remember that everything should be connected. So like, okay, so on my ECs I kind of mentioned this. Okay, now I gotta talk about this to show more growth from this. Boom, 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 and yeah, and then you wanna go for a and then tip number C, that after the draft is complete, write another one and try to make it even better. It's harder, but it's surprisingly, like, if you just write one draft, then you read it, you're like, okay, that's a good one. You write another one, and that would be perfect. I'm pretty sure for my Common App essay, it took me like 9 drafts, I would say. Like, literally 9. I started with a really bad idea, and then it just developed as I was just writing on. And then you want to make sure that keep that going until you are satisfied with your writing. So now we are at the last step of the day. We're going to be looking at the bonus. So for the bonus, I'm going to be giving you guys free one-on-one sessions avec moi. If you guys speak French, that means just basically means with me about college applications. It's going to be like a one-on-one session. So I'm going to put the Calendly link down below. Make sure you do a call with me, because I'm probably going to just do it for this next 7 days, this upcoming week, just before school starts and all of that jazz. So just basically, yeah, so make sure to down below schedule a call, and I can't wait to speak with you and give you some tips to help hopefully get you to the college that you want. So now, another thing, last thing, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we're going to be moving on. We did 182 videos, but we're just starting here, because at the end of the day, I just want to give you guys as much value as I can, and you guys don't want to miss out the journey of me going to UChicago and sharing a lot about how the college is going, and also showing you guys more about my technical side, and also the startup and the businesses that I want to be kind of building. And lastly, any other tips that I get from here, I'm gonna be more than happy to share them with you guys. Another thing, I've been posting a lot of shorts on my Instagram and TikToks. I'm gonna link them down below. But make sure to book a call, and I'm gonna see you later, alligator.